Are you lonely? Maybe you're ugly. Are you handsome but a failure? Is your grandma said that she's been praying for you to get a girlfriend? Well, I can show you how to get a girlfriend in 3 easy steps. And to find the right girlfriend, there's a lot of fish in the sea. And there's a lot of crabs too. So make sure you catch the right thing. And to make sure that you catch the right person, you have to follow this graph. So on this graph, say you're a little low on the scale, and you probably need to stay in your bubble, right? You probably need to stay in your area. Now, if you're a little higher, you have a little higher of a bubble. You have a bigger area. But if you're this low in the range, then I have a little solution for you to get you all the way. Now, it's a little dirty. Some say it's unfair. Sometimes you can smell it on people. But it's hard, cold cash. So, with this, you can go all the way, and it's not even fair. But once you can find the right person, and you find them, then you can move on to section 2, the Riz. So whenever you're having to write Riz, you might say, well, what's Riz? Riz is how much of a pull you can have on somebody with your attraction. So with the right Riz, you can have negative Riz and positive Riz. Negative Riz is a pickup line. You don't want to do that. Positive Riz is like being funny, doing the look, having the right hygiene. Oh, you gotta present well. You gotta look good. And finally, you have to have the right atmosphere. All right, now, once you have all these key steps, then you can go to the first talk. You have to act smart. You have to act mature. You have to act confident, right? You have to act faithful and even talk to her. And sometimes you gotta be funny. How do you find Will Smith in the snow?
I don't know.
You follow the Fresh Prince. Okay, now that you have secured the girl, you have to move on to actually finalizing the partnership. So, once you've moved on to that, you have to follow the graph for minimum attraction per milestone if you want to keep her. Now, as time goes on, you have attraction. And for each milestone, you might say first looking at, first talking to, first date, first marriage. So, with this attraction, you kind of have to be at a certain point for each one. Say you first looking at, you don't really have to be that high to move on. You know, you have to be about there. Now, once it comes to the first talking to, you have to be better than everyone else if you want to move on. So you have to move up in attraction quite a bit. And once it comes to the first date, you gotta be up to there. It's quite a high milestone. You might say, well, how do you get to the first marriage if that's the top of the graph? Well, there's a little thing called feelings, okay? Once you develop feelings, it kind of grows the graph. And with these feelings, you can go all the way to the first marriage, and you have to almost be at the top. Now, once you're wedlocked, it doesn't matter. But then you gotta go on and make sure that you're the guy. To be the guy, you might say, how do I do that? That's why I'm here. So, to do that, you don't have to act smart, mature, confident, faithful, talking to her. You don't have to act that anymore. You have to be that. All right? And to be that guy, you have to do all those things, and you have to spend a lot too. You have to sacrifice your time, your money, your stress, all of that. And then make sure that you have to give some affections. To do that, there's 5 of them, love languages, but you gotta make sure that you know what your girl's is. And then do that a lot, okay? And once you've done all of these things, you can finalize your label. say and ask the very important question, what are we? And if she says, I think that we're friends, then you gotta move on and restart. But if she says, I don't know, what are we? Then you can say, I think we're dating. And once you've done all these things, you can move on and you're done. Probably to the first marriage. Now, to summarize this all up, if you weren't paying attention, you gotta remember, no pickup lines, because that's like serious negative riz. You gotta make sure to do the look. You gotta make sure that you're in the right league if you don't got money. And then you gotta make sure that you have all the right steps of riz. Now, if all this hasn't worked for you, it's because you have the wrong girl. Try again. Thank you.